It's all about me. Have you noticed that that's the mindset when it comes to modern females nowadays in any and every aspect of intersexual dynamics? In this video, I'm going to be speaking about a specific area, and that area is conversation. Now, in conversations, there are several things that happen, but I'm only going to be focusing on two of them. The thing about modern females is that everything nowadays has to be about and centered around them. Have you noticed that? When they talk, it has to be focused on them. When they feel, it has to be focused on them. When they eat, it has to be focused on them. Every single thing in every single aspect has to be focused around them. Even when they're talking about male subject matters, they still try to make it focused around them. So let's talk conversationally. In conversation, there are several things that happen, as I said before, but I'm going to focus on these two. I'm going to focus on phraseology and I'm going to focus on tone. Now, when you start conversing with a modern female, what happens is the conversation about whatever subject matter goes in whatever particular direction. But what happens with modern females during that conversation is that they get triggered by particular things. Here's where we run into a problem. You have four different sets of how this works. You have phraseology when it's good, you have tone when it's bad. You have phraseology when it's bad, you have tone when it's good. You have both the phraseology and tone being good, or you have both the phraseology and tone being bad. This is how modern females think when they converse. This is why it's dang near impossible to have a productive conversation with them. Because if your combination of your phraseology and tone are not correct, then you're going to have a problem even trying to stay on the same subject matter with a modern female. Now, we're not even talking about the other things. These are just the phraseology and the tone. Now, imagine trying to talk to a modern female and your phraseology is good, but she doesn't like the way you're saying it. That's going to be a problem. Now, imagine if you're saying something with a really great tone, but she doesn't like the words you're saying. That's going to be a problem. This is why the dynamic between KS and the top G is so important because it shows exactly about what I'm talking. These modern females used to talk all the time about how KS was rude and this and that, right? I don't like the way he says stuff. But when KS passed and the top G came into play, he showed them the difference between how phraseology and tone can be rude or not in comparison to KS. And guess what? They didn't like him either. So let me get this right. You didn't like KS's tone, but you also didn't like the top G's tone. You didn't like KS's phraseology, but you also didn't like the top G's phraseology. But they were literally opposite in how they did it. So how can you not like both? Oh, right, because you just don't like being told the truth, period. It doesn't matter in what phraseology they tell you, it doesn't matter in what tone they tell you. This is the problem with modern females. It is now near impossible to have a productive conversation with them because they use every single metric as a doorway out of accountability.